Hello everyone. Greetings. I'm just going to set this up a little bit more. Happy. All right, everyone. While we're waiting for people to come in, I'm just going to kind of set the space. I normally do this more so before, but I thought it'd be cool to do it with you guys, especially considering, this is definitely another one of those days where I'm grounding in after running around like a chicken with my head cut off. We're grounding in and just being flexible. Hi, William. Good morning to you, beautiful one. Glad to see you here. Hello. Always good to see you. So maybe if you're here, or even in the replay, it's the best way to take in this information is always to just release. Today is a new moon, so it's a beautiful time for new beginnings, setting new intentions, starting new things. New moon in Pisces, I believe. So that's beautiful. That's actually my natal moon. So beautiful. Calling in all the love, setting the intent that this is healing and activating and beneficial for everyone who watches. Calling in the beautiful love, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Yeshua, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Divine Mother, Hathor, and Isis. All the beautiful, benevolent guides that are always with us. All the family and friends of light to assist us with this message today that is seeing me well. Let me know how the video is. It's a little bit laggy on my end, so hopefully it's not too bad. Next week I will be back home, so at least that's according to the but connection is unstable again. Yeah, a little bit of lagging here, but hopefully it gets better. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm just gonna, please let me know and I'll go ahead and figure something else out. But as long as you can hear me and see me, at least, and it's as long as the communication can be received, that's all that matters, right? That's the most important part. So lagging continuously now. It's looking a lot better on my end. So all right. I'm going to just try to keep going. So, yeah, today's one of those days where, hello, beautiful friend. Okay. But yeah, so I just named this Navigating Chaos because I feel like that's, especially last night, I was navigating a lot of chaos. And I have to say, it felt really good because I felt like I was able to kind of experience being the calm in the storm in a new way. So I guess that's the biggest thing that's kind of coming up. And I just want to share that because I know that it's been really crazy. And I'm curious to see how you guys are doing and how you're feeling, within yourself and, maybe whatever is going on around you as well. Because it seems like there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of movement, I guess is the word. Hello, Art of Art, Squirrel Sniper, Subliminal Vibrations. I love you too. But yeah, so that's just kind of the first thing that popped up is navigating chaos. Because it's just, I think it's, again, it's just part of the earth curriculum sometimes. It's nice to be in peaceful places, but I feel like no matter what, you're going to find yourself in sometimes some pretty crazy situations, some chaotic situations. And so I guess I'm just going to share a little bit about how I've been, dealing with that. Um, yeah, and whatever else comes up. A lot of things around freedom have been coming up. I've been seeing that a lot, like in myself and, with some of my clients. It's like freedom's been coming up, and I've been seeing a lot of eagles and phoenixes. And then I actually heard an eagle this morning, like, I don't know what you call it, screaming. I heard an eagle screaming, really for almost an hour. Like I would hear it off in the distance somewhere. So I love that sound. I love birds in general. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that. There's been definitely some themes of freedom coming up. Not too chaotic for me last week. Actually, it's weird when this happens because I'm like, I could just be sitting here staring it off into nothing and you guys can see me, or I might just be talking and nobody's even going to hear me. So I don't know. I think I'm back. All right. All right. Let's see. Where to dive into this at? Thank you for letting me know. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'll just keep it simple today since the connection is all weird. Um, just navigating chaos. I think I talk about that a lot. And in this case, I'm kind of talking about when there's chaos around you. It can be a lot for me. Many of us, especially, we're sensitive. It's like when you're in a different environment, chaotic environment, whatever it may be. Maybe it's like in a crowd or with family or, in public and stuff like that. Or just inner chaos, that's actually what it is. It's like we have this inner peace, right? We cultivate, and it's beautiful when you can cultivate that inner peace while you're physically in peace. I think it makes it easier, but that's always good because some people, and I've had this too, where like you might have anxiety so much that you could be in a peaceful environment and you still have that anxiety, going crazy. Let it go and let it go and let it go. Again, like tapping into that emotional intelligence, and then being able to start to find, your center, your peace, your love, your sovereignty, your core, your foundation, and that's really, I feel like what that is like, it's like finding an internal foundation that's so solid, it's so strong, it's so eternal. And it's really a matter of being connected with that. That's really the key, is like connecting with that inner part. You could call it God, that part of you within that's so rock solid and invincible that even if you're in total chaos around you, you're completely tuned into that. That's definitely some mastery. And I guess that's just something I've been flexing my muscles with, the past day, um, is, kind of being in a chaotic environment. And I'm still learning, I'm still learning a lot, but being in a chaotic environment and practicing being able to maintain that connection, maintain that connection to my core, to myself, to my love. So that way I can show up and I can be, in a way, a lighthouse. You know what I mean? Because that's always my goal in situations like that, is to, yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm still kind of processing, the things that I've been experiencing. Um, finding that line of, again, being able to, be so strong in your sacred boundaries and your sovereignty, and also, being able to, as much as you're able to without harming yourself, being able to be helpful to those around you. It's kind of a line that I think many of us continue to find, especially with relationships and with, family. Like for me, that's really what I'm going through personally is, that's kind of what made me think of this, is just to find that line of like being able to, I guess, serve the people in your life that you love, even though they may not be on the same page as you. And that's been kind of a theme throughout all of my life. And I feel like this is probably true for many of us, is, maybe having people in your life that, you see them, you know that they're beautiful souls and you love them, but it's hard to see sometimes people making choices that are self-destructive again and again and again. So that's kind of something I'm learning, is like how to let them be them and not try to change them or fix them, because you can't change anyone, but also how to be there for them, in a way that is sovereign. That's the key word, in a way where it's like you're not being drained, but you're able to still offer something. So that's kind of the thin line that I've been walking and learning on, that I guess want to share. But I've been seeing some pretty amazing improvements, growth, I should say, in that department of just not giving my power away so much to those situations and just being more accepting of it is what it is. I am who I am where I am, and for them, where they are. And again, but also having mercy. I guess that's the word. That's the word. It's like having mercy. Again, you have to have mercy on yourself first, and then you can start to have more mercy on others. And it's such a sweet gift to be able to give people. I think it's such an honor, because to be able to give mercy, I think you really have to be in a really good place with yourself, because there's a difference between overgiving and sacrificing yourself and hurting yourself ultimately is what you're doing in those situations, versus that's very different than when you're already in a state of kind of overflow and it's not going to hurt you. It's actually going to help you to have this level of mercy for people. So that's a really interesting experience. It's a really interesting distinction. But oftentimes, that journey, you might start in that trying to overgive and sacrifice yourself and do, too much. You have to come back into yourself and honor yourself and love and appreciate yourself and have those boundaries. And then you come back to that next phase, that next phase of you're not overgiving, you're not harming yourself, you're not draining yourself, but you're able to actually serve. You're able to have that beautiful mercy in this case, talking about um, people that are really suffering. And that's the hard part about, right? That's the hard part about the 3D realm. We often talk about this kind of thing where, we have this 3D shifting into 5D, and how it's hard for, gosh, it's such a often it can be such a miserable place to truly be in. So much compassion to that. Thank you so much, Bone Man. If you're still here, thank you so much for that amazing super chat. That is so generous and kind of you. And I'm just very grateful to receive that. And Transcode du jour, thank you so much for the 999. Thank you so much. Hi, Sinisa. I hope I say that right. It's probably not that great. So kudos to the people that are sticking here no matter what. Just sending you all so much love. So much love. Thank you again so much for the generous donations. I really do appreciate that. And it helps me out a lot. And it is going towards some really exciting creative. I'm ready, especially, I don't know about revealing it right now, but soon. Okay. So what else? Yeah. And also in the collective, I feel like there's been a lot of chaos. It's kind of even gotten my attention of like this interesting contrast where, like I said, I've talked about it before. It's like I'm living this heaven on earth type of experience where it's so beautiful. It's like so miraculous. It's like that's what we call the 5D. That's literally what it is. It's just like this level of peace that's almost unfounded, when it comes to earth. It's like, wow. And, just these glorious, exciting things. But at the same time, we can still experience such density, and we can see it. We can really see it in the collective. So I've been seeing that with some of the current events that have been going on, and really just asking myself, because some of the things happening, like, even were triggering me a little bit, which normally I'm unfazed by that stuff these days. And so it just kind of, but it's a blessing, it's a blessing because it gets me the opportunity to ask myself, what does this mean for me? What's the lesson in it? If it's kind of activating me, if, that's really what it is. If something's triggering you, really it's activating you. So it's like, this the train derailment in Ohio, that's my home state. Thankfully, my family isn't super close to, that crazy thing that happened. Which is just, that's a whole topic on itself. Very, very, like, just suspicious. Um, but it's like I let myself sit with that and process that and ask myself, like, how can I show up with even a more warrior spirit for these kinds of things? Now, something that I encourage as with that is, again, being sovereign, always maintaining your way to these things. But also, this is really, and I hope this comes out clear because I know my connection is bad, but this is actually like really important thing I want to share. Um, is it's like this is like an invitation to all of us to ask yourself these kinds of questions of like, how can we be more, um, I guess the word is effective in these types of things. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in the past, like something that's I've been thinking about is like, remember 2020, 2021. Oh, such polarizing times, such divisive times, like seriously, like cutthroat kind of times, for many people. And a lot of that probably had to do with the political division. And, maybe that was meant to be, it was, but I think we're at a point now where it's like I really don't want to respond now the way that I did respond back then. And I don't regret it. I'm not saying, it was wrong, but that, it's been years. We've seen a lot. We've seen every year is like 10 years worth of stuff nowadays, you know what I mean? As far as the intensity and the movement and the change and the shifting. So it's just a question I want to ask is like, once that chaos starts, as that, if that chaos is going to ramp up again, it's like, how do I want to respond now? And really the word is proactive. I think the word is really, being more proactive, not being so victim mentality about it, like, oh my god, they're doing this to us, but literally find, like, again, the question of like, what can I do, whatever that is. And even sending love, you know don't underestimate the act of intentionally sending love and prayers. And depending on like how your spiritual practice is, from example for me, I do energy work, I do Reiki, so it's like do that on people and animals. We also do that on the land. So that's something I've been doing, is truly sending so much love and prayers and transmutation and cleansing to that area in Ohio, And I know this might be abstract for some people, but I know me doing that does make a difference. And the more people that can do that, the more it truly will make a difference. And again, I don't know if that's a stretch for some people, if you think that it has to be physical, something to change, but if enough people send love and their consciousness to that area and call upon, the forces of God, the angels to assist that area, our free will, because we are bridges here. We are truly bridges here to assist that with our free will to protect that area and to protect those people and those animals really, really does make a difference. It really, really does. And I feel like that's just something to be aware of as we move forward. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, for me personally, like that event felt like an attack, not gonna lie, not to be like in duality about it, but it's like, there's layers to these things, right? And for our mission of trying to assist the earth and humanity, that's a little bit of a blow. But that's what I'm saying is like, when we take that blow, are we going to just sit and whine about it? You know what I mean? Or it's like, are we going to start doing stuff about it, even if it is just energetically? That's better. Like that does make an effect. It truly does. You know what I mean? So it's like even taking time to just send a prayer and have a meditation for like, that's just one example. Maybe there's something more local to you or something more on your heart. But for me, that's something that kind of woke me up, kind of got my attention a little bit. Um, Sending love to that, and again, like setting strong intentions of what you do want to see. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to focus on the things you don't want. You have to think very esoterically in a way, because it's like that this stuff, it is like occultist stuff. I mean, you can kind of see all over, not even trying to get into the crazy conspiracies, but it's not really that crazy. It's very apparent, you know what I mean, that there's like some stuff, black magic going on there, to be blunt. So it's like, are we going to just sit and whine about, oh my god, this is happening? Or it's like, be proactive about it. Again, feel those feelings. That's totally natural, but it's like, at least send love and energy to that area. And even just saying like, we don't consent to that. That's something that I say, because it's like, we don't, and it's foolish to any kind of anything like that, where it's like they're harming people, nor it's like their way is to trick people into doing it themselves. They're talking about like the dark arts, like they have to trick people into doing it themselves to avoid the karmic blowback. I'm freezing again, aren't I? So yeah, but if they're not doing that, then that karmic blowback, that's how that's just my take on it. That's like they're getting desperate, because that karmic blowback is going to hit them really, really soon. And you can already see it. I've been putting a lot of situation, and I can already see it. And this is what I mean. You don't know how these things are going to play out, but instead of being like, oh my god, this is horrible, more people sending love and intention and sovereignty and strength to the situation. This is a situation that is actually, it's awakening people a lot. I've seen that. It's like, this is another, it's sad that it happened, but now that it has happened, this is another event that's getting people to kind of be like, wow, like the government really isn't going to save us. Like, we really have to save ourselves. And that's what we need, humanity to see. That's one of the things we need humanity to see, is that we have to save ourselves. And then for those of us who already know that, again, it's like to be proactive. And how are we, I'm giving the example of doing energy work, doing grid work. So that is really powerful and profound. But, it was like, it'd be an extra step, especially if you live really close to that area, to offer help or offer relief to those people, or you know what I mean, like offer clean water to those people. Something like, even these physical, practical kind of things. Just giving examples, like just being more solution oriented. Again, whether it's energetically or physically or both. A lot of times we don't realize how powerful we were, how powerful we are. You know what I mean? And even with the yeah, because I just saw crystal clear all the derailments were done and mocked in the Super Bowl. And that was another thing, is that in the Super Bowl performance, but they has the backup dancers all had hazmat suits. So it's exactly what I'm saying. It's just like part of what they're doing. And it's, again, your name crystal clear said that. And I was gonna say, like, it's crystal clear to me. I really, I get it right away. I get what was going on there. So again, my initial reaction is like, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about it, because it's like, I don't like to see animals being harmed. People in that area, it's just kind of a mess. And it just kind of, again, highlights the insanity of like these systems, not offering those people help and all these things like that. But again, if we keep sending love to that situation as a collective consciousness, this is just one example. This is just one example, because again, it's like, I send love to the land anyways. I already send love, to the land and to the animals and to people. So it's like, there's moments like this where you can go super concentrated and ask for that, those toxins to be transmuted, because you being here on earth, you're a bridge. So your prayer, your request, your intention is really, really strong, because it anchors in more divine intervention. And we're the ones that are aware of this divine intervention. Many people are still not, and so it's like it just brings in more of that energy. So that's just something I want to share because, yeah, um, interesting times, and another thing I guess I'll mention kind of on this note, and then we'll segue on to the next thing is because it all just kind of hit me at once, last week, sometime around last week, of like how strange this reality is and how supernatural this stuff is getting. I mean, truly, it's like, wow. And that's kind of how I look at it too. To me, it's like, again, I just have that warrior spirit. Um, I'm just ready. I'm just ready for it. But yeah, just I'm already I realize, because again, I don't keep up with any of this political stuff, but I am realizing that at least here in the US, um, before you know it, that it's going to be election season again. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have ample time to like prepare my nervous system for that insanity. Um, and that's what I was kind of saying earlier. I don't know if it was cutting me out, but it's like I want to prepare for that because I want to show up how I want to show up, and I don't want to show up how I did during that time. Again, not saying it was wrong, but it's like I think we've all had the chance to learn and experience and process a lot since then. So I feel like we have the opportunity to be less reactive. I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but um yeah, less reactive and more proactive. I guess that's my goal going forward, even with, well, especially with the collective and the world events, because at the end of the day, it's like it's not about my ego. It's about, what do we need to do to truly assist humanity? That's how I see it. So, yeah. And of course, I might as well segue it back around. And always the greatest thing we can do is focus on ourselves and be the very best that we can be. That's always the best thing we can do. And it's through that avenue that you find how to serve, whether it's through your love, through your music, through your writing, through your services, through your products, things you make, whatever the case may be. Um, so it's really a beautiful journey. But that's just, I think that's another thing on the topic of navigating chaos, individually and collectively, is just really trying to stay grounded, because that's how Jesus Christ did it. Grounded in this connection to God and to this eternal love within you, that it's like you just start to be unshakable. And I think we can all start to, everyone who's listening to this is already starting to tap into it. So it's a practice, I think, of tapping into it and really being able to hold it, even when chaos arises, whether it's your own inner chaos, your own thoughts, your own emotions, or whether it's stuff that's going on around you. Being able to have that strength and that fortitude, that grit of like, okay, let's go, you know, really, yeah, being in your heart and being able to access that guidance even within chaos. And eternal truth, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. So appreciative of you, always just with your consistent support. I appreciate it. So frequencies. Strength, cleanse, balance. Wow, 639, 741, and 852. That's interesting. Yeah, I needed to look more into that. Beautiful. Well, let's have a little meditation. I'm going to keep this one short just because I feel like the connection is really testing me. Um, but we'll make up for it next week for sure, or maybe even sooner than that. Unless there's anything else, if anyone wants to add anything in the chat, any topics or any questions or concerns, if anyone wants to add in the chat before we go, we can cover that as well this day. But yeah, it's all so worth it. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. And I just am so grateful for everyone and to have these experiences of being that rock, really being that rock, and just being grounded, just firm, like grounded in who we are, within ourselves. It's the best medicine for ourselves, and it's the best medicine for those around us. So thank you so much, Eternal Truth. Again, thank all of you for being here. Thank you for your love, your support, your intentions, your prayers. And just remember, your intentions and your prayers are so powerful. Don't underestimate it, especially if you really are focusing on it, or if it's really consistent. Don't underestimate the power that you can have, even if it's across the country, just to kind of really clarify that example, is like, the more people who see something like that and they actually even just saying love to it, you're literally doing something, instead of seeing something and being bitter about it and be like, oh man, that's fucked, like stupid, uh, elitists, black occultists, whatever, instead of just having that and like dwelling in that, you might feel that, I still feel that from time to time, but then taking it to the most effective level and actually being like sending love to those people, that situation, and prayers and intentions. I hope those people get everything that they need. I hope that, those animals are protected. I hope that millions of humans wake up from this event, you know, setting intentions like that. That's what they don't tell you. That's what nobody tells you that you can do. No, you know what I mean? It's like, you can do that and it's free. It doesn't even cost anything besides time, which is perhaps a most precious resource, but it's the most valuable way to spend your time, is to just send energy and intentions and prayers for those people. The more people who do that, does affect the entire outcome. This could be a horrible tragedy that just goes and nothing ever comes of it, nothing good ever comes of it, or it could be, a hard situation that can be transmuted into something actually really positive, and that's what we want, right? Because that's our mission, is it not? If we're just being real, that's our mission. That's my mission, at least. I guess I can speak for myself. So just wanted to share that, and I'll probably share that in it because I feel like that is an important point that we don't hear enough. So yeah. And just thanks again, everyone, for being here. So let's just take a moment to, in fact, have a little meditation, have a little prayer, just have a little breath here. Thank you all for being here again. Just so much love to all of you. And let's just take a nice old new breath in through the nose. And out through your mouth. Coming back to this present moment as much as possible. It's a new moon. It's a really good time to set new intentions, new seeds. What do you want to experience? Perhaps more freedom, more clarity, more joy, more creativity, whatever it may be. More power, more empowerment, more strength. And feel this beautiful flower blossoming in your heart, sending ripples of love throughout your whole body, up into your head, down your spine as well, to your root chakra. And all around your field. For being here and all that you do, for all your loved ones, for all of our beautiful, benevolent guides that assist us in this journey, for all the blessings we have. We show our thanks and our love. And we take a moment to send love to East Palestine and Ohio, to that land, to that river, imagining beautiful rainbow light, just transmuting all of that toxic stuff that's not serving the earth, it's not serving the animals or the people. Sending love and prayers to those people affected by this, that they may be shielded and protected from harm, that those animals may be shielded and protected from harm. That all innocent beings that did not consent to any harm shall in fact be protected from all harm, because that's universal law. And just cleansing that whole area. And God bless all. God bless all of humanity, all the areas in the world that need some extra love. Just bathing the whole realm with our love for a moment. And bringing it back inwards again, back to this present moment within ourselves. And I just hear a really strong reminder for everyone listening that you are so loved. You are so loved. You are so appreciated for being here. Always remember that. Always remember how loved you are in everything you do, even when you feel totally unlovable or totally lost. You're still so, so infinitely loved, always. And you can always tap into that. And if you tap into that, it makes it a lot easier to release all that old stuff that's not serving you. May you all be so blessed. I wish amazing, miraculous for you today, throughout this whole moon cycle, and throughout your whole life. May you be loved. May you be blessed. May you have fun. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Remember how powerful you are, whether you're navigating the most peaceful waves or the most chaotic waves. You are blessed, and you're anchored into everything you need. And one last thing I do want to share before I go, because this is relevant, is I think it was 2 nights ago. Like I told you guys, I've been sending love and doing good work on that area in Ohio. And last night or 2 nights ago, I actually had a dream that I was saving all of these animals from a chemical spill in this house. And so to me, that's a huge affirmation that, it really is making a difference, and that we really are able to do these types of things. That's another thing too. I'll just have to make a whole video on this. But, in dream time, we're healing, we're activating, we're traveling, we're doing all kinds of things. And when we're sleeping in our dream time. So sometimes when I go into dream time, I also ask, if I can be of service situation in Ohio. And then I have dreams like that, where I'm saving animals from a toxic chemical spill. So we can do these kinds of things, as we go to sleep. And as I also say, I always recommend shielding with force fields of love before dream time, so you're going to be sovereign. But that was a beautiful dream. And honestly, I woke up just feeling really, because that really is how that translates to me. So I just want to share that, that's something we can do, that's some real things in our dream time. We can also assist. And I think that's the best attitude to have going forward, as we're continuing to sometimes face blows, whether they're intentional or not. We're able to, instead of having a victim mentality, what can I do? And you don't have to be a Reiki healer or anything like that to be able to do this. You just send love to that area, send violet flame to that area, or ask to assist that area in dream time for the greatest and highest good of all. And ponder it yourself and see your own things that come up. These questions: how can I be more proactive instead of settling for playing victim for these horrible things these people do? We have to rise above it. again and again and again. That's the only thing we can really do, you know? And it's an honorable thing to do. So, hi, Richard. Good to see you. You made it just in time for the the finale. I don't know. Maybe not finale, but just the ending prayer. And love you all so much again. I just want to say, I just feel so proud of you all for being here and, showing up and doing your best every day. I feel like none of us hear that enough. I just always want to tell people that because it's not easy. Human life is not easy. Being on this planet is not. It's certainly not an easy thing. So the fact that you're here and you're doing this work, you're just here, when you're watching my video, you're expanding your inner love and peace. You're doing amazing. You know, don't beat yourself up so hard. I feel like a lot of us do that. But even, as soon as you're aware, as soon as you're aware of something, you're already shifting it through your observation, through seeing it through your higher self's eyes, through the eyes of God. As soon as you see it, you're already shifting it. You know that? As soon as you see something in your life undesirable, as soon as you see it, you have the power to shift it. You know, even if it's not physically instant, energetically, it can be instant. And that's what's real. The energy is real. And the physical world is just a reflection of that, always. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. Flying. We're flying in 2023. Let's see how high we can fly before the sun melts the wax in our wings. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Such a inspiration always. There will not be an Icarus moment because this house can soar. Yes, exactly. Even treading water is not drowning, doing swimmingly. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I love that. It's like the less we fight the water, too, the more we truly just flow and continue to expand into new possibilities that we never even knew was possible. It's fun, right? It's so beautiful. So, all right, everyone. I love you all so much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your week, and just keep up the amazing work and so much amazing, exciting things to come from me personally and from many other things from your higher self, especially always surprising you and amazing you. And yeah, that's what I hope for all of you, to just be delighted and surprised in a good way from all the love that is always unfolding and awaiting in each moment, especially through the rough times. Especially through the rough times. You know, just remember, if you keep going through those rough times are the times that truly end up blessing you the most, with the most strength, with the most wisdom, with the most just juicy gold. So just keep going. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Richard, you are amazing as well. Okay, I am going to go now. Love you all so much. Thank you for all your support, all the love, all the super chats, just everything, all the energy. It really is appreciated beyond words. I'm just so blessed and thankful. And I just want to keep expanding it to all. Thank you all so much. All right. Blessings. Bye, everyone.